White Eagle, could you give us the goals for our next speaker?
Absolutely. This is a very special speech because it's the 10th one in the Competent Communicator. It is inspire your audience. The objectives tonight will be to inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging the audience to achieve a higher level of beliefs or achievement. Appeal to the audience's needs and emotions using stories, anecdotes, and quotes to add drama, and to avoid using notes. The speech will be for 8 to 10 minutes.
So 8, 9, and 10 for the lights. Our next speaker joined not quite a year ago. It's one of the first new people to join this club after we decided to continue the club, change the time from noon to 7 p.m. on a Thursday night. And she is the first of all those new members to get to what is going to be her 10th out of 10 speeches in her Competent Communicator manual, the very first manual we go through as Toastmasters. So what you'll see tonight is a culmination of all the skills she has learned in the previous 9 speeches, all put together into a speech that is meant to inspire us. So this is a special treat to watch a Toastmaster graduate to the next level of Toastmasterdom. She has been working on overcoming her fear of speaking, she says, and tonight she wants to share just a bit of that journey and what it has entailed. Welcome Angela with her speech, Alive.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and Toastmasters and guests. Emotions are a strange and a powerful thing. They can move mountains. They can take us to Spain. They can cause us to make sacrifices that we would have deemed outside of ourselves prior to that. They lead us into marriages. They cause great pain. And they can move us in determination to grand places. Even fear which can dig so deep, that gut-wrenching fear. And I don't know if everybody, I'm just assuming that everyone in here has felt that type of fear. Maybe it's been a long time, maybe you were a child, maybe it was over a dog, maybe it was a relationship, something that happened at school, a teacher. But mine has always been public speaking. And it truly wrenched my gut. And you know how things are supposed to get worse before they get better? Much like when you go to clean out a room and you begin to gut it, and it looks so much worse than when you had begun, but you know that there is hope that it's going to get better. And that's very much the way I felt. I think it was about speech number 6, where it felt so much worse than even when I first gave my speech here, my icebreaker speech. And it just seemed almost insurmountable, and I kept thinking it's not getting any better, I think it's getting worse. But then I came across this article from a skier. He was a professional skier, and he talked about how when he's training some of his clients, how they often get worse before they get better. And it's because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're stretching yourself more than you've ever stretched yourself before. And I found such encouragement in that. And he talked about how as you go to this precipice, you really need to make a choice of committing to what he called the fall line. My second great fear would be heights, and so this really resonated well with me, just imagining the skier on the slope, and he's at that edge, just ready to go, and committing to what he called the fall line meant leaning into the fall. When my natural inclination would be to hug the mountain. And I began to see my life as a mountain, and circumstances laid the foundation for this mountain layer by layer by layer. And as I thought about this, and I thought about how we cling to those circumstances in our life, we have an image in our mind that becomes almost a vice, almost a smokescreen for us, to that realization of what's really on the other side if we choose to step through those fears, whether it's a relationship, an ideology, whether it's financial, whatever that gut-wrenching thing is. When we choose to step through that smokescreen to get to the other side, we are freeing ourselves. We are becoming who we are meant to be. And we're becoming more real. Being here has been so enormous for me in this journey. I have avoided or turned down promotions because of my fear of public speaking, because it would entail that I would have to public speak. It has truly been a complete paralysis for me until now. So when Lindsay was sharing what she shared, it resonated with me. Public speaking, I'm sure you all have heard, is most people would rather die than to public speak. Dying is number 7, whereas public speaking is like number 1 or number 2. And being here and getting the encouragement and getting the feedback from everybody here, the analogies, everything that you guys had to offer was so enormous. And I still don't feel comfortable, but I feel like I have come so far because the changes that have occurred in me are so much more than speaking. Being willing to step through that fear, that trepidation that was truly seizing to me, has really infiltrated my entire life. It has reached my children, it has reached my husband, it has reached friends and family. It is amazing when we choose to step through whatever fear it is that might be hindering us. It is amazing the transformation that takes place within us. That fear has become an enemy to me. It's almost become a challenge to where if I see it, I just know that there's something good on the other side. There's something worth stepping through that to get to. I feel so much like I have come to my own precipice. And as I have stood there and I feel that cold, brisk wind on my cheeks that chills my nose and my ears, and the adrenaline is coursing through my entire being, as I know that I am going to have to commit to this fall line, commit to conquering these layers that have been laid down in my circumstances over life. But for the first time in my life, I feel alive. Let's do this.